and welcome to Big River Off-Road Park in Hudsonville, Illinois. I didn't even have to leave the state this time. Well, very nearly. I mean, that's Indiana, like, over there. This is round one of the Crossroads XC Racing Series. I've never ridden Crossroads before. It's also a qualifier for the National Racing Association, I believe, the Amateur National XC Championship. They're trying to grow and become sort of an equivalent to Loretta's for woods racers. I have to get the top 5 in my class. That's apparently the ticket to the promised land. I'm doing this walkie-talkie bit in my truck because it's really windy. I'm 4 for 4 now of bringing bad weather with me to the race. This place looks really cool. There's a lot of motocross. I'm not really a moto guy, so I'm looking forward to putting my lack of motocross skill on display. And the rest of the track, from what I've seen, looks sandy. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that my fitness sort of rubber bands between really bad and slightly better, and we are in a really bad trough as of late. But I did just go ride in South Carolina all last week, so maybe that counts for something. I got 40 hours of seat time in, more or less, last week. So I guess I'll go get lined up and go to work.
Back to row 5, 14 to 21
Man,
speed.
nerves are ultra high right now.
10
I haven't had butterflies racing like this in a long time. I have no idea why either. The cure for the nerves is to ride slow. All right, just the 3 of us.
10 seconds.
Badlands look like a walk in the park. This place is rough. Suspension feels good. Just not me. Like I'm riding a 90. I don't know what to do. This isn't a points race. They said all I had to do to qualify for the national was get top 5. There's only 3 of us. I don't want to hurt it. Like it came out of it. It's got me kind of skittish, honestly, because if I get to a section where I might need wide open, you know, is it going to be there?
If you're just tuning in, this is Dadspeed, the channel where an old man on a Suzuki rolls sand whoops. It's barely pulling itself. I'm in first with the throttle wide open, and this is all it's got.
Around for a couple more laps, hoping that the problems I had were in my head, that I was imagining it. It turns out I was not. They were very real and very frustrating, and they got so bad that I had to pull off before the end of the race because it wouldn't even move. It took a great deal of stopping and waiting and starting again just to get back to the truck.
Hi, welcome to my show. What can I get for you?
Can I get a number 10 honey barbecue chicken strip 4? I don't know what you guys eat after a race, but I eat my feelings. I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. I mean, it's obviously a fuel system problem, but I don't know enough about fuel injection. I've got a lot of learning to do and something to fix, and not a lot of time to do it because I race again in a week. Disappointing day, but you know, still did what we came to do. We got a plaque and we got qualified for the Amateur National XC Championship. Great success. Thank you. I don't have a problem, you have a problem. But I do have a problem. Binge eating. And also a fuel pressure regulator, which was supposed to have 44 PSI and had 1 point something, which is not 44. Once we swapped that out and a fuel pump and swirl filter delete, seemed like everything was on the right track. Until it weren't. Having trouble believing this, but that is the drain plug from the oil tank, with part of the oil tank still wrapped around it. I just pulled the drain plug spout out. Which is awesome. That's awesome. That's a cool thing that I wanted to do. It was on purpose. This oil tank now is just welded closed. We can't TIG here at this shop. We know a guy that can. Couldn't get the bung back on, but he could weld a plate over it to just close the tank off. We have a CFM tank coming that's gonna be here next week. It just wasn't gonna be here in time for tomorrow, obviously. So this should be the ticket to get us through tomorrow anyway. As long as this tank holds that oil for 2 hours, which I'm sure it's going to, we're home free. We're good to race tomorrow. After that, the tank's just gonna come off and get replaced anyway. I'm just happy that I get to ride this tomorrow. Thank you to Matt Dillon and Wayne Long of Paul's Machine and Welding for getting our tank fixed on a Saturday morning so that we could go racing. You guys are awesome. The next morning, it was off to the Extreme XC Shoe Dog Showdown. This race was for points, and it was one of my favorite tracks last year, so I had high hopes that things would be better. Even though I can see first place right in front of me. I got 2 hours of hopefully smart decisions to make, so I shouldn't cloud my judgment with speed.
So what happened? My first lap was okay, except for I didn't see the creek jump, and the go-around was really long, so I lost a ton of time there.
I got tunnel vision following Mike. I didn't realize what that was. Oh man, I just lost a bunch of spots.
My second lap was incredibly bad. I had arm pump, I had to stop and change gloves because the gloves I had on were too loose, which was making the arm pump worse. It took me forever and I lost a ton of spots. I dropped from 2nd to 7th.
You okay?
Yeah, I can't hang on. My arms are like bricks.
And then got to spend the rest of the race trying to claw my way back up the order. And even though I had some good lap times in there, I just wasn't able to get it done. The fuel system seemed to be mostly better. It still cut out a couple of times, but nothing like the race before. All in all, not a terrible day at the races. I just didn't have it. 1 month, 1 OEM Suzuki fuel pump, and 1 CFM oil tank later, and it was time to go back to racing at the Extreme XC Lawlye's Loop. This race was bad.
Thank you. Well, that started badly. Man, you got such a good start too. I want to fight forward, but I'm not in good enough shape to sprint right now. I gotta keep the whole race in mind.
Haven't been hitting the old fitness too hard lately. Parmesan garlic, and we are in a really bad trough as of late.
Number 10 with a Pepsi, honey barbecue chicken strip.
Oh!
quickly sum up what happened, I'd put it like this.
Seems like I'm riding a completely different track than everybody else because I keep catching up to guys, going around them, and then seeing them again a half a lap later.
Figured out what the issue was. I couldn't do the pro hill every lap because sometimes I would get to it and there would be people stuck on it, so I would choose to go around, or at the end of the race, I actually just got waved by it because there was someone at the bottom. Typically, skipping a pro line adds a few seconds, maybe a minute onto your time. But looking at the lap times here, it was almost a 3-minute add-on for me to not do the pro hill. Pretty punishing. I should have just waited for those people to get unstuck. Anyway, that explains how I would pass people and then see them again in front of me. They were doing the hill and I wasn't. Not that I was riding particularly fast anyway. On the last lap, there was a spot of the track that had become basically impassable, and there was a handful of us that needed to get towed out one by one. That's how I achieved a half-hour final lap. Additionally, my buddy Jared had a crash and a pretty scary injury. He's doing great now, but all in all, a day to forget. P6 on the day makes it the worst race I've had since I came back to quad racing. Having to push the quad up that hill at the very beginning, I was just gassed for the rest of the race. I couldn't really recover, and then adding on 3 minutes every lap for going around the pro hill, and that's pretty much my day. It took me pretty well out of the points lead for my class, but I'm doing fine. Why do you ask? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get the videos out faster. I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you!